I got a message on YouTube comment because Sadhguru said this thing about, there is no God, and then he says, like, the greater power and the higher beings and the higher powers and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, like, does anyone else notice there's a sun in the sky and a moon out there? Well, whether it's really there or if it's our consciousness projecting it, something is causing it to be there, which would be a greater power than us. So you can call it a higher power. This guy says everything is consciousness, that's all. And I'm like, what do you mean by the word consciousness, dude? That's what I call God. Everything is God. So you can go around and call it consciousness, universe, or higher power. But those are just words. And what people aren't understanding is the point is they're trying to clarify themselves about some words with more words. And even Sadhguru, anybody who really truly understands, and I'm not saying he doesn't, because I believe he does, but I'm just saying, like, even that, for example, being called Sadhguru means that he's, going along with that name, being addressed as a certain thing, going throughout life consistently. Tomorrow he's going to be Sadhguru. The day after that he's going to be Sadhguru. Like, he's got to go by a name, but deep down he knows he's not that name, or he's not that title. And we all know that. If you really understand the infinite, you know that there is no constant at all. So tomorrow will be totally different than today. In fact, every second would be different than last, because there's no purpose at all. You choose it. You can make up every day with a different idea and say, this is what I want to do today, and this is what I want to do tomorrow. And you know what? I'm going to change my mind this second to the next second. Like, the infinite consciousness has no constant aside from universal laws. When it comes to a person, you don't have any course that you have to follow. You don't have to do anything. The only thing you feel like you have to do is the stuff and the laws and the regulations that you've been given since you were born. Other than that, there's no requirement of you. So, to say all this stuff about consciousness says this and the higher powers want that for you, they don't want at all. They don't want anything for you, but they don't want anything. They don't want. They're just there. They're in operation because they work that way. And they work that way. How do we know they work that way? Because we are experiencing it. We're tapped into it at every moment. We just don't acknowledge that we are. And that's the problem, is that we are in it. We are doing it. We are it. But it is still there without our body. So therefore, when people say it's all consciousness, yeah, they're right. But we're trying to explain that from a human point of view. There is something way more than humans. So when you say we are all there is, then you have to clarify what you mean by we. Yes, the underlining thing that I call God, yes, we are that. So the Samaritan, whatever his name was, or Sumerian, I think it was, on YouTube commented, said all this stuff about, Tatmasi, and he had all these different, Sanskrit words, which Sanskrit words are great, but they are also from a human being who's also trying to put it into words. How is that not understood? So if I say that, people are like, whoa, you're wrong, because what you say is wrong. What that person said before you is right. Although what you're saying is, they're right. Oh, but you have more detail on what it all means. Oh, you're going deeper. I don't like that. I'm uncomfortable with it. If people are uncomfortable with just about anything that they haven't heard before, so they got to defend it with what they've heard before, the known. And I understand that. But it's time to open your mind and stop holding on to all these old ideas. Consciousness is God. God is beyond that. God is the idea that created consciousness. Not a being, but a being. All beings. All things. Anyway, I think I made my point. I hope so.